Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today. Today's video is going to be my January reviews. I'm decided to start this up again because I was doing it like last year and then I just got sick of doing them, and yeah, just I've decided just instead of showing each movie that I've watched, I'm just actually going to talk to you about them rather than say this is what I watched, I liked it, move on. So basically I have here my Letterboxd diary that actually has a list of the films that I've watched over the past month. So I'm Time Lady 42 on Letterboxd in case anyone is interested. So I've watched quite a few films over the past month. I think my total was like 20, for actual, out of my collection I watched 24 films, so it's out of 31 days, so that's not too bad. So yeah, so I'll basically do this movies I watched out of my collection, then it'll be the movies I saw at the cinema, and then finally TV shows what I watched. So yeah, so this will be more or less in order of what I watched them. If I did like a film series, I will sort of lump that together rather than go for each individual film. So but yeah, basically the first movie I watched at the start of the year on New Year's Day was The Sound of Music, my second favourite film of all time. I just love this movie and I can never tire of it. I know it's almost like a 3-hour movie, but to be honest, it really doesn't feel like it's 3 hours, which yeah, I suppose it means it's doing something right if if it's a really long movie, and yeah, it just doesn't feel like that much time has passed. But yeah, it's a classic. Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer, yeah, I've always loved this film, even growing up, and yeah, so it's probably my favourite songs. I like The Lonely Goatherd, with the puppet show. I know that differs slightly in this actual stage version, but in the movie it's the puppet version, they do a puppet show. I've always loved that scene. And also I Have Confidence. I do like Something Good. Yeah, I just love this movie. It's basically, when it comes down to it, yeah. So the first movie I watched for 2014 was The Sound of Music. So, and because basically, yeah, because initially it was it had been 2 years since I'd seen it, because and then I watched it again last year, for the first time in a couple of years, and then I'm I really should make an effort to see this more frequently. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna watch it at least once a year, just because yeah, it's, as I said, one of my favourite movies. So that's The Sound of Music. So then throughout this past month, I ended up doing I rewatched the Alien movies, the quadrilogy, and I rewatched the first Predator movie because that was the only one out of all of them that I'd seen. And then I ended up doing Predator 2, Predators, Alien vs Predator 1 and 2, and also Prometheus, which I have seen. And yeah, it was sort of finally seeing all the films in the franchise, good and bad, because yeah, I could sort of, because Aliens is my favourite out of the Alien quadrilogy. Aliens and Alien, they're sort of really they're on par, but I've always liked Aliens slightly more. But and I know a lot of people hate on 3 and 4, but to be honest, I don't mind them. I mean, they're not the best movies, but they're watchable. So yeah, so I did those, and then I did the Predators. I don't know if you would call it a trilogy, or because I love the first Predator movie is awesome. I actually kind of liked Predator 2. It was a bit different to what I was expecting, but yeah, it was still a good sort of sci-fi actiony movie with like because that had Danny Glover in it. And I sort of liked, they did reference the first one, so and then for Predators, again, it was, okay, like, I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular, but again, it was watchable, and yeah, it's sort of like with them being all on the one planet and that, so it's sort of taken away from Earth, but yeah, I still liked it, so that, and then when I got to Alien vs Predator and Alien vs Predator Requiem, I know a lot of people don't like these two movies. I do, and yeah, I can say why. I liked the first one. First one, it was okay. Second one was, yeah, yeah, I know, I can see why a lot of people hate the second one. Yeah, and because honestly, again, I wasn't, you're sort of watching it, and yeah, I can see why people would want them, like, none of the actual human characters to survive, because yeah, they were really some of the not very likable characters at all, even though they sort of did come close to pretty much wiping out all of the main characters in the thing, but like right at the end. But yeah, it was, wouldn't be in a hurry to rewatch it again, probably only if I do another like watching of this franchise, but since I've just done that, like obviously this past month, I'm probably won't be in a hurry to like go Aliens, Predators, Alien vs Predator, and yeah, and then I finished it off with Prometheus, like the reboot sequel, prequel type movie. I've always liked Prometheus. I saw it in the cinema when it came out. Again, I know a lot of people were mixed on it, but I liked it. I like Michael Fassbender as the android, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good, sci-fi-esque horror movie. So yeah, and I think they're doing a second one to Prometheus. So yeah, I really hope that they can do another one to that, because yeah, I did enjoy it. So that's the Alien Predators franchise. I watched that over the past month. So, and then where am I also did a rewatch of the Hellboy films, because I've seen the Hellboy 1 and 2. I saw both of them at the cinema, but it's been years since I've actually watched them, and in all honesty, I don't think I've seen Hellboy 2 since I first saw it at the cinema. But yeah, I love the Hellboy films. I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I really wish they would do a third one. Maybe if someone did a Kickstarter program or something, we might get the third one made. So yeah, because I hadn't actually seen them on Blu-ray, because like, yeah, as I said, I watched them, but then since I got them back on Blu-ray, because I had them on DVD and then I sold the DVDs. But yeah, I did a rewatch of Hellboy 1 and 2, so that's that one. And then also I watched All the President's Men, which is the first time that I've seen it, and yeah, it was actually pretty good, because I know it's considered like one of, I don't know necessarily a classic, but it was a very good film. I don't really know too much about the whole Watergate scandal, like what it actually involved. All I really know is that it forced that Richard Nixon had to resign as president. That's really the only thing I know about it. But I did actually really sort of I liked how the reporters, they delved into the story. like, even though they kept getting thrown around with it, like, you know, people not willing to comment and all of that. And I liked how they kept pushing it, like, even though people dismissed it and that. And yeah, I actually thought it was a very good film. So I did, yeah, watched All the President's Men, and then I watched Elektra, as someone who, and I actually liked it. Again, film a lot of people don't really care for, but then again, I'm one of the few people who like Daredevil, so and you know, I just wanted to put on a film for a couple of hours and not have to think. So yeah, it was, you know, just a fun action film. So and then what else? And then I watched The Maltese Falcon. Again, this is the first time I've ever seen it. I know this one's, you know, considered a classic, so, and yeah, I was really, and like, really intrigued by it. I thought it was, yeah, good, like, mystery. Cause to be honest, I wasn't really sure what it was about, but yeah, I really liked the mystery, and yeah, how they had to, like, I guess find the, yeah, with and yeah, like how all the characters interconnected, and yeah, I thought it was a very good film. So, and yeah, so Maltese Falcon. I also watched Much Ado About Nothing, the Joss Whedon film. Really liked this one. I'm you know, a big fan of Shakespeare, so, you know, like Shakespeare with you know, a bunch of Whedon like people who like, you know, regularly appear, and since, like, you had Clark Gregg, you had Nathan Fillion, yeah, and yeah, so and you know, because I think that's actually partly why I wanted to see it, because it had Nathan Fillion in it, even though his role was sort of small, but I liked, you know, it was very simple. I liked the black and white, how they filmed it in black and white, and yeah, it was really, I thought it was really good. So, and then I rewatched Oblivion. So I saw it back when it first came out. I actually thought it was pretty good. It did have sort of a sort of like, I don't know, I got a Moon vibe to it, but I didn't like it. I was entertained through it, and I do actually like Tom Cruise as an actor. Yeah, I really don't, like, obviously, like, with what's going on in his, like, personal life and that, I sort of just try to distance the two things, but I do like Tom Cruise as an actor. So and yeah, I thought Oblivion, you know, is a pretty, like, good sci-fi, like, action sci-fi film. So and I also rewatched Pacific Rim, and again, I was one of the ones who really like, I loved it. I thought it was, yeah, it was a great action film. You know, Guillermo del Toro, yeah, and again, it also had Ron Perlman in it, but yeah, I don't know, I just liked the film. So even though I know it didn't really do too well at the box office, but as far as I'm aware, they are planning a sequel, I think, so hopefully that will happen. But and I also watched Safe House, again, a film that sort of flopped at the box office, but I liked it. It was like espionage, like with like CIA, yeah, thriller, and yeah, I liked it. It was you know, fun way to spend a couple of hours. So but then I probably went in with zero expectations, so that's because I know a lot of people didn't really care for this film, so that's probably why. But I did like it. So Safe House, and also I watched How the West Was Won, which I had never seen before, but with the amount of people, like all the, like, actors who were in it, it was no way I could not see it. Like, you know, you had Debbie Reynolds, you had Jimmy Stewart, George Papard, Gregory Peck. It was, and I haven't really seen too many westerns, so and I did really yeah, I thought it was a very good film. Like So I actually thought it would be quite a long one, but it wasn't really. So I think it was like 2.5 hours. For some reason, I was thinking it was like closer to 3 hours, but yeah, I really liked it. I loved like the scenery and you know, the interchanging storylines as they went through all the major periods, like that it, I guess, impacted on the West, and yeah, it was a very good film. So yeah, and I also rewatched The Day After Tomorrow. I've seen it. I had it on DVD, and then I got it on Blu-ray, and then yeah, I watched my Blu-ray copy, and yeah, I've always liked the film. Like, you know, it's a good disaster movie, like, and yeah, it's yeah, I don't know, I've just, you know, always I liked it when I first saw it, and I still liked it when I rewatched it, and it looks spectacular on Blu-ray though. It's like, yeah, like the blues and like a really prominent, like with the water, and as the snowstorm comes in, and that it looks really good on Blu-ray, and yeah, and it's yeah, and I always kind of again with the film, because it's really, I guess you could say it's still relevant now, like with global warming, and you know, people who like, I guess, you know, you don't want to like believe that I guess, you know, climate change deniers and everything, like that, you know, they don't believe like we're contributing to like we're harming the earth, like with the greenhouse gases and that, and it's basically, you know, we've only got one planet, and it's like you know, if we destroy it, it won't be there any, like, I guess that's sort of kind of like the thing, and it's like yeah, I just think it's, you know, a really good film. So yeah, so that's Day After Tomorrow, and then the last of the regular movies that I watched out of my collection, I watched Mary Poppins, which, as I mentioned in my update, I love Mary Poppins, and yeah, it's, and yeah, and of course I had to get it on Blu-ray, so but yeah, it's just a great film. It's a classic. I love Julie Andrews, and yeah, 'cause, you know, songs like A Spoonful of Sugar, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, yeah, it's, and like Feed the Birds, and yeah, it's I love it. I can never tire of watching it. So that's oh, and I suppose I started off the year with the month with a Julie Andrews film, and I finished the month with a Julie Andrews film. So sort of funny how that worked out, but yeah, so that's that first section. I only saw 2 movies at the cinema this month, because as you know, I'm going to uni, and I'm not going to have much, like, I'm trying to conserve my funds, so I only went to 2 films. First film I saw was Frozen, which, as you know, I absolutely loved. Yeah, it's, I have to agree with like what most people say is, like, you know, one of Disney's like better films in the past like decade. As I know some people saying, like, even saying it's like, you know, it's their best film since The Lion King. Yeah, I just loved everything about it. I loved the song, like the soundtrack. I sort of also loved how it didn't necessarily follow a traditional Disney storyline. Like, you know, you get, you know, boy, girl, they meet, they fall in love, like love at first sight, and then yeah, that sort of gets turned on its head. So I sort of liked how that played out, and yeah, I just loved it. I loved Olaf. I think that's the snowman. I think he was my favourite character. And but this is also one of the few films that almost had me crying, like, in the first 5 minutes. That's sort of, like right at the start, that sort of really tugged the heartstrings, I guess you'd say. And I was like, are you serious? We're not even 5 minutes in. So, but I loved Frozen, and I can't wait to get it when it comes out on Blu-ray. So, and the other film that I watched was Saving Mr. Banks. To be honest, the main reason I wanted to see it was because of the, I guess, trailer. And they had, when she's talking about how it's a word that they say, and she's like, it's not a word, and then she goes, well, we made it up, well, I'll make it up, and then they sort of hide the sheet music to Supercolor Fragilisticexpialidocious. Like, I thought that was hilarious. And I mean, I know the story didn't completely, you know, cover the whole of P.L. Travers' like life, because I know, like, yeah, there was a lot more to her character than what was portrayed on the screen, like, because it really, it sort of covered her early life when they were in, like, she lived in Queensland, and then, because I know she spent her teenage years, like, in, I think she was Bowral, I'm pretty sure, which is in the South Coast, New South Wales South Coast, I'm pretty sure. I should probably know that because I live in New South Wales, but anyway, yeah, and it's sort of, like, chronicled, like, with her, yeah, childhood, and then, like, it's sort of crisscrossed between that and, like, her adulthood, like, when she's an adult and Disney's trying to buy the rights to Mary Poppins, and she wants it a certain way, like, she doesn't want any animated, she doesn't want any animation in it, she doesn't want, yeah, she's not that keen on it being a musical, and, yeah, it's just, she was very determined, like, you know, she wasn't gonna, and she, like, you know, didn't put up with his nonsense, and, yeah, no, like I said, I thought Emma Thompson, she was really good in this, as was, Tom Hanks, so, as Walt Disney, but, yeah, I know there was a lot of things, like, they didn't touch upon, like, because, because, like, I do know that she was, like, the author, she was actually, like, you know, she was bisexual, she had an adopted, like, she adopted a son, so, yeah, there was a few, like, there's, I think some parts that she didn't, which I think, because, you know, the film probably wouldn't have covered, like, things, but I did think it was, you know, a very good film, and, yeah, so, that, because then you can probably do, like, watch, like, you know, go Saving Mr. Banks and then watch Mary Poppins, like, as a companion piece, so, but yeah, they were the two films that I watched at the start of the month, and, or, like, at the cinema this month, and the last, part is TV shows. I have watched, well, I am in the process of watching, quite a few TV seasons, but the one that I did finish, I did a rewatch of Red Dwarf, because it's been a couple of years since I've seen, like, you know, 1 to 8 and Back to Earth, and also because I wanted to watch Series 10, which I've got on Blu-ray, so it was just a lot of fun going back and rewatching it. Because to be honest, I'm not that big a fan of 7 and 8 when they added Chikansky, I think that's the name, like, I think that ruined the dynamic, because what I did love, you know, it was mostly, like, a male crew, like, you know, yeah, they had Holly as the female ship's computer, like, for, I think it was 3 to 7, I believe, and then, but, yeah, I love Red Dwarf. Yeah, Back to Earth, it was sort of hit or miss, and Series 10 more or less got it back on track. I've heard Series 11 is in the works, so hopefully that goes ahead, but, yeah, I just love it. It's, like, you know, British comedy, so, of course, and it's sci-fi, so, but there's so many quotes that I love in the show, like, you know, these exchanges, like, you know, Crichton and Cat, and then it's like, it goes like, so they've taken Mr. Rimmer, quick, let's get out of here before they give him back, and then it's like, all 100% successful trip, and then, but we've lost Mr. Rimmer, all in all 100% successful trip, and then it's like, I love the exchanges between Crichton and Rimmer with, you know, the different codes and how Rimmer says one thing and then he goes blah 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 blah, Nina's like, and then it's completely different to what he intended. I did actually write down one of my favourite exchanges on the thing, so it's basically like, this is like, Rimmer goes, "I've no idea who you are, but boarding this vessel is an act of war, ergo we surrender, and as prisoners of war I invoke the All Nations Agreement Article number 39436175880932-B, and Crichton responds, 39436175880932-B, all nations attending the conference are only allocated one parking space. Is that entirely relevant, sir? I mean, here we are in mortal danger and you're worried about the Chinese delegates bringing 2 cars." I just love that exchange. It's like, yeah, so that's sort of like, that was the main TV series that I watched in the past month. As I said, I have been watching other seasons, but because I'm still in the middle of them, I will talk about them like for next month, like for the reviews for February. So but yeah, so that's basically everything that I've watched. I don't really know how this format is going to go, but like, just, you know, just sitting here talking about the movies, I've sort of tried to make them, you know, a bit more like, more than just say I liked the film, but I think I tended to do that quite a bit. But I think that's why I was getting so sick of doing the other ones, because I had like the pile of movies and then I was just showing them and then I had to put them all back. So I think I'll just do it this way, and hopefully the reviews will get better. So but yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye.